On Friday, September 13th, 2013, during third period, I was in team sports with Matthew Truex. That day we had to run the mile, so we went down to the track. Matthew and I started running together, and after the first lap, he stopped. He told me that he was cramping up, but to go ahead and keep running. That was the last thing he ever said to me. When I was halfway around the track, I looked back to see if he was okay, and he wasn't. He was on the ground receiving CPR, but that didn't save him because he had a sudden cardiac arrest.
Matthew is my best friend, and I never thought that I would lose him. I thought he was completely healthy, but he had an enlarged heart, and that could only be detected by a heart screening. The only thing that could have saved him that day is an AED, which we did not have on site. 4 months ago, I lost my best friend. Who knows whom it could happen to next? Get your heart screened now and prevent a tragedy like this from ever happening again.
My name is Darla Varenti. I'm the Executive Director for Nick of Time Foundation. The foundation was started in memory of my 16-year-old son Nicholas, who died from sudden cardiac arrest. He was a multi-sport athlete, appeared healthy, and we didn't know this could happen to young people. Since that time, the focus for the foundation and our family has been on youth heart screenings, our CPR and AED awareness and education, and our Heart of Schools program, which places AEDs in our schools and communities. Our goal is to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone in your family or your community.
I'm Suzanne Apodaca, Director of Operations for Nick of Time Foundation. We've created this video to show you what our Community Youth Heart Screening program looks like. To give you an idea of the process, we're going to follow Danny, a high school student, through his heart screening. Students arrive at their appointment time with a completed health history that they filled out with their parents. The check-in volunteers direct the students to the first station. Students have their blood pressure taken by a local firefighter. The firefighter records the student's blood pressure on their clipboard, and at this point the screening essentially splits in two, with a girl's side and a boy's side. Each student will have their height and weight recorded by a community volunteer, receive a 12-lead EKG test administered by a local paramedic or medical volunteer, and a heart sounds physical where a community physician will listen to their heart and go over their family health history. Next is the CPR and AED awareness station. Volunteers teach students how to recognize the signs and symptoms of sudden cardiac arrest. Students are trained in hands-only CPR and how to use an automated external defibrillator, or AED. The student then goes to the physician consult station, where a doctor reviews the results of their screening up to this point and answers any questions they may have. If there's a need for any further testing, the physician sends the student to the echo station to receive an ultrasound of their heart. The student then goes back to the physician consult station to determine if follow-up with their primary care physician is recommended. At the checkout station, students receive a letter to take home outlining the assessment of their screening.
My name is Jonathan Dresner, and I'm a sports medicine physician at the University of Washington. I'm also the medical director of the Nick of Time Foundation. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in young athletes and a significant cause of death in young persons, especially adolescents. On the athletic field, sudden cardiac arrest accounts for about 75% of all sudden death in young athletes. Young athletes for years have been required to have a sports physical before they participate in sports. The problem with our traditional screen, which revolves around doing a history and physical exam, is that most athletes who have an underlying heart condition that may put them at risk for cardiac arrest have no symptoms, have no warning symptoms, and sometimes the first sign of their heart problem is their cardiac arrest. So what we've tried to do at the Nick of Time Foundation is provide a community heart screen that can look beneath the surface and try to diagnose some of these heart conditions that we can't pick up by a simple history and physical exam. I'm always impressed with each of our screens. The logistics to run one of these things has improved with every screen. It is amazing to see so many students come through in a single day. I feel like it's a well-oiled machine. I think we've learned a lot, and we're still learning how to do it better.
Our program truly is a community initiative. We have volunteers from all walks of life working together for a common goal. Hospitals that normally are competing with each other, firefighters, nurses, paramedics, AED manufacturers, echo and EKG machine manufacturers, all coming together for a common goal to ensure the youth in their community are heart safe.
On Wednesday, February 12th, the Nick of Time Foundation is coming to our school to provide heart screenings and CPR training for the first 600 students who sign up. You can pick up packets in the main office from Mrs. Burns. Make sure you take them home and completely fill them out and have the parent permission form attached. Then turn them back into Mrs. Burns. Thanks to the kindness of the Nick of Time Foundation and the fundraising of the junior class, the screening is being offered for free. So sign up now and be one of the 600 students to discover if you have a healthy heart. Remember, the life saved could be you or someone you love.